Namaste to all. Hello dear students. Myself Subhash Chandar. I am once again in front of you for a new video lecture. Today we will study the business studies 11th class and we are discussing the business studies unit 1. Today we will start the chapter 2nd 2.1 and name of the chapter is classification of business activities. 2.1 classification of business activities. So business activities can be divided in two categories. First is industry and second is commerce. So whatever business activities we conduct, these activities are divided in two categories. One is industry, second is commerce. So first is industry. Industry refers to that activity which is engaged in production, sale, purchase of various goods and services. Mostly it includes goods. Various goods are manufactured, raw material is converted into finished product. So this activity is concerned with production of various kinds of goods. So whenever we produce goods, such goods can be divided in three categories. First, producers goods. These are also called as capital goods. Second, consumers goods. And third is intermediate goods. So first, producers goods or capital goods. Producers goods are those goods which are used by producers for further production, like as machinery, tractor, harvester. So these goods help the producers to produce further goods for other goods. If a farmer uses tractor, so tractor will be helpful in producing various kinds of crops. So here tractor is producers goods. These goods are of high value and used in the process of production for several years. Second is consumer goods. Consumer goods are those goods which are used by ultimate consumers. In our daily life, we use different kinds of goods like book, pen, cell phone, table, chair, furniture, fan, AC. So these are all the consumer goods which are ready to consume for the final users. Third is intermediate goods. Intermediate goods are those goods which are not ready for consume by the consumers. Such goods needs further production, further processing, like production of tire. Tire is produced, so it cannot be directly used. Brick, int, these are intermediate goods. So such goods needs further processing, further production. If tire is used in the car, then car will be the final good, that will be consumer good. The production of rubber, plastic sheets, iron sheets, it is included in intermediate goods. Now, today we will study the industry and various types of industries. The topic is classification of industries. Mainly, industries can be divided in three categories. First is primary industry. Second is secondary industry. And third is tertiary industry. So first is primary industry. In primary industry, we produce unrefined raw material which is used as a raw material for secondary industry. We produce unrefined raw material, and such raw material is used by secondary industry. And primary industry again can be further divided into categories. One is genetic industry, second is extractive industry. Genetic and extractive. So first is genetic industry. In genetic industry, the breeds of animals and vegetables are improved and made it more useful. Breeds of animals and vegetables is improved and it is used more useful, it is made as more useful so that it can be used as a raw material for secondary industries. So these include animal husbandry, poultry farming, growing of trees. These are a part of genetic industry. Second is extractive industry. So extractive industry is that industry which is under which we extract something out of waters, out of air, or something out of earth. हम ज़मीन से कुछ निकालते हैं, पानी से निकालते हैं, या एयर से हम कुछ प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, तो दैट इज ए पार्ट ऑफ एक्सट्रैक्टिव इंडस्ट्री. लाइक वी टेक आउट मिनरल्स फ्रॉम द अर्थ, iron ore, coal, gasoline, crude oil. We catch fishes from the seas, sea water, pools. So that is a part of extractive industry. Now the secondary industry. So secondary industry is that which produce different kinds of goods and services by using the raw material provided by the primary industry. And secondary industry can be divided into categories. One is manufacturing industry, second is constructive industry. Manufacturing and constructive. So what is manufacturing industry? It refers to that industry under which dyeing of cloth, it is fourth process. Fifth process they need to make ready-made garments. So where a product is passed through various processes, that is called as processing industry. And fourth is assembling industry. So in assembling industry, to manufacture a product, first of all, its various spare parts are manufactured at different places, and at last they are assembled to make a new product, like automobiles. When we make bikes, scooter, car, TV, radio, fridge, the different spare parts are manufactured at different places, and at last all these spare parts are assembled and product is produced. That is called as assembling industry. So in this way, the secondary industry, it has two parts. One is manufacturing, and second is construction. So manufacturing industry is of four types we have discussed, that is analytical industry, synthetic industry, processing industry, and assembling industry. Now, second part of secondary industry is constructive industry. So under constructive industry, the work is completed on site. For example, when we use different types of raw material like cement, bricks, iron, or other things, we construct buildings, roads, bridges. So that is a part of constructive industry where construction work is done. Now, the third is treasury industry. So in treasury industry, various kinds of services are provided. To run a business smoothly, various services are needed. Without these services, we cannot operate the business successfully. So these services include banking, insurance, advertising, middlemen, warehousing. So in treasury industry, we provide different kinds of services which are helpful in renewal of hindrances take place in business. So in next topic, we will discuss such hindrances which needs to be removed. Hindrances. So first hindrance of place. We know if a particular product is available at a particular place, there is no use at that place. If we change its place, we shift this product to another place, its utilization can be increased. Like coal is available in coal mines, and at that place there is no use of coal. We need the coal in thermal power stations to generate electricity. If such coal is shifted from coal mines to the place of electricity generation, then this hindrance can be removed. So this hindrance of place can be removed by transportation. With the means of transportation, trucks, railways, we can carry the coal from coal mines to the thermal power stations where its utility can be increased and the hindrance of place can be removed. Second is hindrance of finance. To run a business smoothly, money is needed, whether it is small or large. So when we are running a business at large scale, we have to arrange the sufficient amount of finance. This is a hindrance, a hurdle Various banks provide loan for short-term as well as long-term, and hindrance of finance can be removed. Third is risk. In every business, whether it is small or large, there is a risk. Risk means chances of losses, uncertainty, or chances of inadequate profits. There is always a chance that we may incur loss or our profit will not be sufficient. So due to this risk, some people hesitate to start a business, to run a business. And this hindrance of risk can be avoided by insurance. If we insure the goods and in case there is any loss, that loss can be compensated through insurance company. So in this way, we can cover our risk. So this hindrance of risk can be covered through insurance. Fourth is communication. Or information. Whenever we produce goods, there is a need to provide information to the customers, to the users, that we have produced such kind of goods, it is available at what rate, where it is available. So this is the problem, how the consumers can be informed. So this hindrance of communication or information can be removed by advertising. The advertisements. Through the use of advertisements, we can provide information to the prospective buyers about the availability, about the price, about the quality of goods. So such items can be removed. And last is storage. One more problem is storage of goods, because there is a time lag between production and consumption. When goods are produced at the same time, it is not consumed. For example, we produce woolen clothes. The production of woolen clothes takes place during the whole year, but its consumption is only in the season of winter. So during that time when it is not used, there is a need to store these goods. And this hindrance of storage is removed by warehouses, where goods are stored.